runs the labels. Do your own research. You know what I'm saying? It's really only I'd say three real labels. You know what I'm saying?
And then loads of umbrellas.
Yeah, and then they come down.
Yeah.
Cool. And I've worked for Universal, Republic, Def Jam, Atlantic. You know, work with them, and you know, I know the infrastructure. Have met the CEOs, executives, and everything, and like, they cool people. You know, it's just like it's a lot of shit that happens behind the curtains, and a lot of shit that people talk about, and things people talk about. It's things people know, and people get afraid to speak on.
Yeah.
Shit, even me, I'm not gonna really go deep in on what I really heard and stuff like that. Now, when the cameras is off, yeah. But anyway, you know, I don't want to dwell on that for so long.
For the people that might have just seen the little intro clip, do you know what I'm saying? Wondering like, oh, where's it going and that. It's a big collaboration right now. It's more that it's deeper than rap, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's international. Real Talk True Stories podcast, the waviest podcast in the UK, with my boy Webb. Takeover, you know what I mean?
You already know.
Good peoples, first of all. Let me just...
Finally, bro.
Ain't it? Thanks for having me.
Yo, we've been speaking for a minute.
Yeah, the relationship's been building up, and it's like... So it's a pleasure, bro. I was gassed for this. Like, I was like, yo, you know what? This is a good Friday night, bro. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, we get to chop it up for real. I know you're like, you know how it go, bro.
Put sometimes. My mic down? Oh, the bag? The bag down? All right.
Yeah, what's that?
You can always cut this out. It's cannabis and...
Oh, shit. That's some new shit there, boy. I hear that still. You're getting high from the bag. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I hear that.
Ah, damn. The bag was catching a lot in there, huh?
So this one's the takeover special, man. You know what I'm saying? Real Talk True Stories takeover special. One thing you said in like our pre-conversation was like you grew up in the 90s. Wait, let's start with where you grew up. I think that's a good start. Like, we won't go into mad, you know what I mean? Because we'll be here all night. We're gonna chop up a few topics and stuff. But where does it start for Webb?
Yo, man, I grew up in Brooklyn, Bedstuy, on Bainbridge Street, Howard, between Ralph and Howard. I grew up in the 80s. I went to high school in the 90s. So it's like the music game changed so fast and everything changed so quick. You know what I mean? Like, from listening to Big Daddy Kane to like Mobb Deep. Yeah, to like MOP, Biggie, Tupac to now. Yeah. And just being able to just be in the game for so long, like, you know what I mean? But just growing up in Brooklyn, it was a crazy experience back then.
What was like, Bedstuy like in them days, in like the 80s and 90s, early 90s?
Yo, it was these little colorful tops all over the floor, and this shit was crack.
Crack epidemic.
Yo, when I was a kid, you used to pick up the tops before you knew it, because it was all over. These little plastic, colorful, that's when they used to use vials, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And they was all different colors, all over the place though, flooded. Crazy. It was crazy, but it's kind of looking like how it's looking now somewhat. Yeah. In the 80s. It was a lot of homelessness and stuff.
You know what's, sorry to cut you, you know what's crazy? I was at my friend's kid's birthday yesterday, and I was talking to his pops and his pops' friend, and he's from the Bronx. One of them was from the Bronx, and I was like, yo, the Bronx is, you know what I mean, kind of rough, and it's rough. You hear about it, you know what I'm trying to say? And he was like, yo, I'll be honest with you, like, he kind of corrected me. He was like, back in the day, it wasn't like that. Nice houses, people owned their family home and shit, well kept. But he said crack ruined it. And he was talking about like how crack ruined a lot of the United States. Like, it turned like something that was like more middle class into like a driven into poverty, if you like. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Big time. And yo, if you listen to the music, yo, it reflects all of that.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, and it's a timeline. You know what I mean? And again, this is why I say it's bigger than the music. So yeah, crack really destroyed the household. Like, this is when a lot of fathers left. Once the fathers left out the house, you know what I mean, and got on drugs, that was the beginning of the snowball effect, I feel. You know what I mean? And Makes sense. Was in the music. You could hear it in the music, but I think they used to hear more the perspective, like the point of view was, I think, more of they were observing. Now it's more like I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's
like,
facts.
Back then it was like, yo, I see this, I see that, or whatever.
It's like Nas Project Window shit.
It's like Nas Project Window shit.
Like soaking up the game, watching the
kind of soaking it up. Well, he might have sold crack.
Hustlers.
Right. But
even because if you think about it, when you grow up in that time period, you get to see every angle of the game. You get to see the DJs at the block parties, but then you get to see the fiends, who was probably like your friends' mums and shit, a lot of them, and aunties and stuff. Then you see the dope boys, the big cars, the jewels, the rope chains.
So crazy.
So you're seeing every angle as a child growing up.
It's a timeline to now.
Yeah.
State of the Union address. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a perfect point, because where are we going from here? And there were times within those periods, let's say KRS-One, Self-Destruction. So somebody was talking to me about a self-destruction record with artists on the same... I'm like, yo, you know, you're not going to get on there with your ops. You know? So listen, man. Let's say if I put out an appeal to some artists. So now I fuck with so many artists. So many artists, bro.
Yeah.
This set, that set. And they'll be like, LA, let's say we got LA, we got New York, we got Boston, we got, you know, so many different cities. So Philly. It might be Blood, Crip, might be
Vice Lords,
GD,
GDs.
It might be all of these different. Thank God I'm old enough to have, you know, I'm outside of that world. You know what I mean? So they don't see me as.
That's an interesting topic, man.
A super interesting. It's part of the State of the Union, bro, and it comes from. It starts to stem from the world of like, yo, the drugs, family being broken down.
Yeah.
It's the type of drugs. Like, let's say cannabis is one thing.
But when it gets to like heroin and crack, that's different kind of animal.
Things that's, you know, man-made shit. You don't really want to fuck with them. And even now you see, you know, even certain people fucking with certain dangerous. You know, it's different. It's different. I know what the hood is fucking with, man, because I'm still in tune. So these pills, nah, man, no good. And you hearing it in the music. But who am I to preach? But here, this is what I'm going to do. We State of the Unions once a month. We going to get on Zoom calls. We going to have 1,000 people on the Zoom. I'm going to have Billboard Baby put together the damn...
you know what? I like the angle.
Clubhouse?
I can tell that you care. First off, that's what I'm getting from this.
I feel
like,
I'm
genuinely.
here. Yo, I swear to you.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I'm here as a messenger to the youth and my peers to warn them, and also to kind of bring us together. And I really believe in this being, right? And I feel that I work for this being for real. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm Muslim, you know, but I'm not your conventional Muslim. I converted to Islam.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's a reason why a lot of people convert to Islam. And I used to look at Islam as in a way of like really being weird.
How comes?
Because you see the way they dress, you hear a lot of stuff, you see stuff them going around some type of block.
Especially,
so if you don't know
especially
about
in America, though, innit, as well.
Huh?
Especially in America.
Especially in America.
Yeah.
So then you hear about different type of Muslims. You hear about black Muslims. You hear about black Muslims being like Nation of Islam.
Nation of Islam, yeah.
You hear about. But see, when I was growing up, they had 5%ers and
5%
things.
nation, yeah.
So it was a little different. There was like
God
more
buddy.
religion in the music. Now it's none of that shit.
Yeah.
It's none of that shit. There has to be God.
They promoting that demon time now.
Yeah, you can't get. Yeah, cool, whatever. That's music. I actually work with an artist. His name is Demon.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Shout to my God.
The name is
Demon.
crazy.
Yo, and I work with so many artists. And I love my artists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is why I formed the label, because it's like, yo, we getting a deal regardless. We got too much power. We got more power than the labels. So it's like, there's no way that I'm working with all these artists and we can't get a deal. So now I'm talking to different distributors and seeing what how we're gonna break down what artist is gonna go where. Seeing, what company we're gonna work with, what label. Because we have so many artists and again, it's bigger than the music. This is about empowerment, changing the culture, moving forward. This isn't a joke. Like, we're over 18. We should be able to it's a sad state.
But hear what though? Alright, so do you know what? Let's get into this a bit deeper. This you see how you're talking about the crack epidemic back then,
yes,
reflecting in people's like rappers' music at the time. They're talking about the street life, the crack, the family like drawn out on drugs, whatever, whoop-de-woo, making money. But now, like you said, they're more likely, rather than to be an observer from a window, they're more of a participant. Do you know what I'm trying to say? In the drill. So it's like they're rapping about shit that they're doing or they're taking part in, right?
Supposedly, yeah.
Right. But let's just say, for instance, right, that a big percentage of it's true. Let's just say that, right, as a allegedly. What I think happened, which was a big shift, and you might be able to, give me your take on it. I think that once upon a time, being a rapper was seen as like a bit corny. Once upon a time, like a rapper is kind of like, oh, he's a rapper, street dudes angle, like not just like civilians, but the street guys would be like, oh yeah, that rapper, yeah, he's from my neighborhood, man, yeah, he's cool. But they're the dope boy, they're the guy that calls the shots in the hood. They're the one with the money before.
This was a long time ago.
Yeah, but
yes,
but in the UK, we've had that a bit later.
I could see that.
So we're behind you guys with hip hop because it comes from here, right?
I could totally see that.
So we had a wave of that where like the street guys will look at the rapper like, yeah, he's just a rapper. Then you'll get a real rapper from time to time that busts his gun, sells drugs, and he starts rapping and shit. You know what I'm trying to say?
I can fuck with this.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
Then later on down the line, what I realized is like more and more, let's say, street dudes, credible street dudes, start feeling a bit like creative because they're watching other rappers get respect. They're watching rappers get rich. They're watching rappers become famous. They're watching all the bad bitches go to the rapper show or go to the club to see the rapper. But they're like, yo, I'm realer than him. I got more money than him.
Yeah, that's what happened. It was a switch.
And then they start writing bars.
Yeah, it was a switch. Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
you're saying the real dudes was rapping.
Yeah, you know what I'm trying to say? Like they were street guys that started spitting rather than spitting to become rich.
Yeah, and a lot of I feel you on that. In the 80s, I feel it's like let's say like Eric B and Rakim and them. They were. That is the era of they were looking at the drug dealer dudes and wearing that shit and coming out like that. Even Kane and them. And then, like you said, it was a switch. It was a switch
for real.
Down the line. You know what I'm saying?
I went to an industry party in the UK not too long ago, and I saw someone from my side of town in there, and I was like, "What the fuck is he doing here, bro? Like, why is he here? You know what I'm saying? He's not even tied into the music industry." And then he's like, yo, he saw me. He's like, yo, what you saying? And that. I said, yeah, what you doing here, bro? And he's like, I'm networking. I say, for what? He said, yeah, I'm gonna rap. I'm like, oh. Like, I was like genuinely like, right, like, okay, cool, that's what's up kind of thing. He asked me if I know people, but yeah, cool. plugged him in with someone.
Everybody want to rap because they want the fame. Fuck all, because you can have the most money in the world, but you can't, like, you might not be able to get into this event.
You know what I'm
you can't get behind stage of this
They got the
concert. I could be a billionaire and
yeah.
can't. So it's like that shit hold a lot of weight.
It's facts, bro.
It holds a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Even being behind, like,
The popularity.
This shit is big. Like, even being a manager of a rapper, it's like you're always there with this artist, so you just get known because you're just people know me from just being with artists so much that now I got some of shit. You know, that shit is ill. How that shit works, man. You know what I mean?
So if a rapper's a drill rapper, let's just say like UK drill is massive. New York got their own version of the UK drill now. It's going worldwide basically, more so than ever. Some drill rappers are like, have just blown because they're good at music, whatever. But then some drill rappers are only rapping to reply to their op block. Yeah. You understand me? So like they're going to the booth to talk about what happened last night and then drop the video with their face covered with a mask and shit.
Yeah.
So that's why I think there's been a big change as well, because I feel like now they're responding to each other. It's one of those ones where like, it's not really for rapping to show their skill set, basically. It's more to reply to an op, to talk about what they did last night or what they're going to do or whatever, whoop-de-woo. And I think that's where like it's changed. Before it was like someone rapping to get out of the hood, talking about what they can see out there, out of their bedroom window, the things they've grown up around, sharing their story, their experiences and their surroundings. But now I feel like it's more about like banging out. It's like, technically it's gang banging, but it's drill, innit? It's drilling, you know what I'm saying? Like people are going on glides, hood to hood. It's normally your neighbouring area that you beef and stuff like that. And a lot of this stuff is a joke, to be honest, bro.
Are they wearing masks? I don't even know if they wearing masks. I think they're going straight face over here.
Yeah, I mean the UK.
You're right, they just showing their face doing that.
They're big on like covering their face to an extent. But now people are starting to realise you can come in like that. You can be like wear a mask for like a year or two, get some big records. Then when you decide you want to grow up a little bit and stop fucking talking about the op block because you might have got back and whatever, then they take the mask off and rebrand and you can make a career out of the shit. There's a few people that's done that in the UK. I mean, the point you were saying is important. Like we can't, you know what? I'll keep it 100. I'll get straight to the point because obviously time and whatnot. But with this road life, we call it street life because we're going to be universal because Americans talk different to us, so they understand the street life. If you want to be part of the street life, you gotta be ready to do that 20 to 30 years, bro. Like you gotta be ready to lose a lot of friends. You gotta be ready for anything, bro. Like there's a lot of karma that comes with it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? You know, you see people that live the street life for like 20, 30 years, deep bodies, like mad drugs, and then they have a stroke at a young age. Like it's karma, bro. Like we're talking about God.
It's karma, yeah.
We're talking about real shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like I've heard about those things and seen those things firsthand. Where it's like, raw, man had a stroke at like 42 years old and his whole body shut down and shit. Right. Left side or whatever. Dude fucking was in the streets going crazy for mad years doing evil shit. You know what I'm saying? Gets deep.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's definitely like the reality of this thing is if that's the path you want to choose, make sure you can handle what comes with it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because a lot of these kids are misguided. Like I see it as like lack of father figures, lack of elders from their area that they're from guiding them. A lot of people are using them. A lot of people get used, bro. Do you know what I'm saying? You take a young boy, put something in their hand, go do this, go do that. That's easy to do as an older man. If you're in the streets and you don't want to do the 30 years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how it is, and there's a lack of guidance, bro. You know, people that end up in the system, a lot of them, once they're there, they realise it's too late. Bad decisions, wrong decision making, lack of guidance, lack of direction. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I think there's like a lot of this is why it's good what you said. It's important that we talk about these things because coming from someone like yourself that's like been around some of their favourite artists, Fabolous, A Boogie, travelled the world. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you're someone that's been around the globe, bro, and seen a lot of different things. To hear it from you is good. Someone like myself, I've come from the UK, done music and whatnot, had lost friends to the street life. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna say it straight as well. Fuck the street life, bro. I think the streets are a myth. That's my opinion. I think it's played out. I think we're in a new age as well, like you said, where people want to be better fathers. Do you know what I'm saying? They want to be around for their child the way their father wasn't around for them. There's a lot more people that are starting companies now, tech companies.
Yeah, man. I think everything about to change right now.
Yeah, man.
I think the street is gonna come to, and that's why it's gonna begin with, you know, us doing stuff like this. And really, somebody has to focus and really speak directly to them. Somebody got to speak to the hood. There are, like, back in the days, the hood was listening to like the hood was just different. It was different. Let's say I wasn't there, but let's say Martin Luther King, right?
Yeah.
The hood would like
the
hood listened to him. The hood listened to let's say even Malcolm X. All right, cool. Definitely Malcolm X. The hood listened to Malcolm X. Right? All right, cool. At one point, maybe did the hood listen to Farrakhan? I don't know. Maybe it might have got further and further and further away from that quote unquote leader. Because the hood got different, and then the leaders, quote unquote, I don't know. You know, I wasn't there for. I mean, I still listen to Farrakhan at times, and I agree with a lot of that he says. Some stuff, maybe not so much, but I take from him. You know what I mean? But who else? Al Sharpton?
Nah.
Jesse Jackson? Obama? I respect the fact he was president.
Yeah, I think Obama done his thing as much as he could have, rocked out a little bit. Bro, you know what I mean?
People would have followed Obama. I don't get it. Maybe he still could do it. I don't get it. Yeah. Am I a Democrat? I don't know. Am I a Republican? I don't know. I do know. I'm not a Democrat or Republican. I'm independent.
Yeah.
I'm independent. It's deeper than just like. That's why people can't just look at music as this, like, you know, cool, I made it. Let's say you just make millions and millions off of music. Okay, what's next?
What's next, bro?
Yeah, I don't feel the person is gonna be content.
Yeah, because it's like every dog has its day as well. Like, it's a young man's sport for the most part, but you've got people like Jay-Z and Nas that are like have longevity, but there's other artists that I could use as an example, not to disrespect them or anything, because I still think they're an amazing artist, but people like maybe even like Young Jeezy, The Game, like they're great in their own way and they have their own fan bases, but they kind of their music career now is I would say is on the more out way.
Yeah, even Nas and Jay-Z though, like the music, they are icons.
They're goats. Yeah.
Even Jeezy, whatever. But like the music, I don't think people really checking for it like that. Number wise, they not. You know, they aren't. Who's doing great now?
But I guess because those two in particular have transcended in business.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
they don't even doing music like that.
Exactly. Music's the passion.
Yeah.
That's the voice of just the message, isn't it? Like to put their feelings out there.
They made more, off the business. They made way more off the business than music, for real.
Exactly, bro.
And that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Unless you own, okay, cool, you own your own label, and that's when you need to sit down and really start talking. To own your own label, there has to be a network. You have to, you're employing a lot of people, and that's why I'm excited to have launched my label. Now we can really touch. We could really reach out and touch and be a service to artists that deserve a situation. And like so many dope artists don't have situations. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's big facts. Because it's not even about how good you are. It's about who you know sometimes.
It's definitely not about how good you are, but that's why I guess music is all in that.
It's popularity contest, really.
It's popularity. It's like art, I could scribble something and be.
Yeah, I'd say that's the shit. Yeah. For the UK audience, what I want to get into quickly for the UK audience, because your background, you come from Bedstuy, you came into the music industry, right? Later on, obviously, after going through high school and whatnot. What was your first kind of like way into the game? Because there's a couple of artists that you've dealt with that have impacted the world.
Yeah,
so we're gonna get into that briefly before we move into like a couple of questions that I got. But you see, like, how did you come into the game? Like, what was your first entry point?
Entry point, I started throwing events. So I came in as a promoter.
Dope.
And I was in college. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
so we're talking like parties and shit.
Yeah, I used to do events, and I used to invite, a lot of people from colleges and get some of the DJs, like radio DJs. So one of the radio DJs I had got was Clue. So Clue was the mixtape king, and he had a radio show at the time.
Mm-hmm. So Clue, where's Clue at when you first meet him and start booking him and whatnot? Who is he at that point?
Clue was
he's
big.
Clue.
Yeah, he's pretty big, but he wasn't that expensive. Surprisingly, like people didn't know that.
Yeah.
So he wasn't that bad back then. Maybe I got him for maybe like $1,500
that's
or $2,000
back then.
So so I got him, and then I started throwing parties, and the parties was cool.
Yeah.
Other DJs like maybe SNS, other like mixtape DJs and stuff. But then you just start meeting these DJs, and Fab was a dude from the projects that actually went to my school.
Fabolous, yeah.
Yeah.
So what was he from? Bedstuy?
He's from Bedstuy.
I didn't even know that. I thought he was from. Where did I think he was from? For some reason, I thought he was from another part of Brooklyn.
Oh yeah,
he's from Bedstuy.
From Brevoort, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. So you actually went to school with him.
Yep.
Dope. So
elementary.
Rumor has it that you was the person that had the CD that was kind of like pushing it into Clue's people to say, look, you need to hear my man. Like he's fire. Is that a fact?
Yeah, absolutely. We made the CD. We was taking him to the studio. And actually, it was a tape.
That's how old school. Yeah.
It was a cassette tape. That's really showing my age, fashion. Yeah.
Nah, that's hard.
Yo, I don't even really tell people my age but I'm gonna start telling people, man, because
you're young, bro.
I'm definitely young, but cassette tape, pushing the cassette tape, and
So you guys are really kind of like basically managing Fabolous without it as a family thing, rather than like saying we're signing you. It's like we're building something.
Yeah, man, absolutely. We built Fabolous up, bro. Built them up together. It was fun just taking them to the studio.
Yeah. What was the first time you heard him spit something? I thought, yo, this kid's crazy with it. Like, do you remember the moment? Or was it just in general?
Yo, he was all day with it. Yo, he had a little mixtape.
Yeah.
A literal tape. And yeah, he was freestyling. And yeah, man, he sounded like Mace.
Yeah, that's what the first thing was when he came out, right?
He sounded like Mace to me.
Yeah.
And he had his partner Lee. That was my boy. Actually was cooler with Lee than him.
Right.
And yo, he just was going crazy.
It just turned into that like come studio, get it in.
Yeah, he was going crazy back to back to back. So, I already knew what it was. Clue ended up picking up on him and signing him. But you know what I feel like, man? I really feel I could have been better in I was Muslim then, so I should have been more. I should have been trying to bring him more over to and give him more knowledge about,
like a bigger bro
spirituality.
Yeah.
I'm just getting into all this other shit with him. You know what I mean? Like really getting into the lifestyle. Like we on tour. There's groupies. We on. It's all type of stuff.
It's a mad crazy time to be alive, bro.
Yeah, and this stuff goes fast.
Yeah.
So before you know it,
another year's done.
It's time to be like, yo, man, it's been like fucking 18 years or some shit like that.
So when Fabolous ends up getting signed to Desert Storm, it's facilitated by you and your people taking him over to your Clue, check out our boy, whatever.
Yeah.
Is it with Skane? Is that right?
Yeah, my boy Skane.
Your boy Skane.
Skane Dollars. That's who we really was cool with.
Yeah. See, I remember hearing about that. I think I watched it on the Queen's Flip podcast or some shit like that a while back. Yeah. So when Fab signs with Desert Storm, is it like Fab signs with them as a label, but you manage him still?
Exactly.
On a day-to-day, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's dope. So, all right. Here's a question for you on that, right? Where do you rank Fab in the grand scale of rap? Like, where do you rank him?
Where do I rank him?
Yeah.
It
doesn't have to be like just a number. It could be like where do you put him in the mix? Because I feel like he's transcended generations and stayed relevant for longer than people give him credit for. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
For sure. Yeah, he definitely transcended. He definitely, he definitely been through how many decades? You know what I mean?
You know what I'm trying to say? Because I remember Fabolous coming out when I was kind of young, bro. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, I think that Where's My Party shit and all that.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these rappers.
It's a long time ago, you know.
Come on, man. I remember
that's
him making that in the studio.
99 maybe? 2000?
Something like that.
Early 2000s, something like that.
Yeah.
And for him to be dropping shit now with Dave East and Jim Jones still, and they're racking up views worldwide, you know what I'm saying, still.
Yeah.
He's got some hit records.
Yeah, I wish my guy Damo was here. Like, I always go back and forth with him over Fab and
who?
He's hard on older rappers.
Do you know what's funny? I was having this debate in the barbershop and I took it to Instagram, and the debate, right? I wrote it down to bring it up to you. The debate was who's better, Lil Wayne or Fab. That was a debate that we was having. And do you know why it got interesting? Because Lil Wayne is similar in a way where he kind of came out a long time ago as a youngster as well and transcended through generations in his own way.
He damn sure did.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So we had this debate, and I think I feel like Weezy edged it a bit because of, I think, global. Because obviously when you're in the UK and stuff, Fab in New York was like a real staple. But worldwide, I think Fab was more known for his lady records on a worldwide scale, you know, like the NTUs and them kind of records. You know what I'm trying to say?
I'm always go with Fab. But Fab could have signed Wayne, but
yeah, that's another thing.
Fab could have signed Wayne, which was crazy.
Some joints, bro, between.
So
you know what I'm saying?
I'm probably a bad person, but I asked that. I'm always go with Fab over Wayne. Anybody like that. I'm just.
Me personally, I would as well. Punchline. He's one of the punchline kings, bro.
Yeah, he's the punchline king.
Seriously, like bars, bro, and fashion as well, swagger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He had the drip from early, still does up to now.
Yeah, I want him to sign. I want him to definitely. Well, he has a few acts, but I need him to definitely sign one of the acts I'm working with, man.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah. Fab, man. He just sit down and we go over a few of these acts, bro.
Low Soul. What's his best album in your opinion? As someone that worked closely.
Always gonna be the first one. You know what I'm saying? Ghetto Fabolous.
Ghetto Fabolous, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one with the purple.
Took us out the hood. I've been out so long, it's like shit.
That makes sense.
I'm bougie now.
So here's the next one, right? A Boogie with a hoodie.
Yeah.
I saw on Ebro in the morning. He's chopping it up with A Boogie and you're there, I think, in the background maybe, and he says like,
yeah, I was in that.
You know what I mean? He knows you from
room.
Where you come from and whatnot.
Yeah, that was crazy,
what happened
man.
there? How did that happen?
Yo, so we woke him up so early in the morning. It was hard moving A around because he always was so fucking high. So high. Him and his team, man. I missed them dudes so fucking high.
Yeah.
Right? So, and then when he gets to the radio, it's like it's early in the morning and shit. And it's like, who feel like doing this shit? You know what I'm saying? And this is it's the younger generation.
Yeah,
I love it. Bro, I feel like, and these kids is old enough to be my sons.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. They're the next gen.
So I'm like, yo, this is a big show, bro. You gotta wake up. You gotta like
it's hot 97.
Come on.
You get me?
You know what I'm saying? She's like, all right, I'm gonna smoke another one and I'm like, this gonna wake me up. This one gonna wake me up.
That's what I love about the youth, though.
This shit did wake him up, though. You know, the shit did wake him up, though.
Leveled him out. He
put the it was a dope interview, man. Go check it out. Shout to
and
A, man.
Ebro kind of bigged you up heavy mid-interview.
Bro.
And I remember seeing that thinking, yeah, that's a big one.
I'm like, wow, Ebro, you gave me a whole commercial. I'm using that for life.
Yeah, facts.
I'm using this commercial for life, Ebro. Shout out to Ebro.
But he was like, you with like Webb, right? He's a legend and shit. You know what I'm saying? And then A Boogie was like, yeah,
you
hell
can pass
yeah.
for E, bro, a little bit. You ever get that?
Nah. I think I got more hair than him though. You know what I'm saying? I think I have more hair than him. But yeah, bro. I mean, A Boogie with a Hoodie was an exciting artist when he came out.
Yeah.
Because I think like for the new gen, he's one of their goats now. Do you know what I'm saying? For the new gen. How did that connect happen? Was that like
Yeah, man.
mentoring
Damn, it's such
kind of
a
thing?
beautiful thing, bro. And again, this is why I feel like I'm a messenger, because it's like the timeline. It's like the butterfly effect. So like I knew somebody that knew him.
Yeah.
And they was like, yo, I got this guy. He needs help. His whole team needs help just with organization. I'm like, yo, let me hear him. I'm checking this shit. I'm like, yo, he dope. Let's sit down. So I go to his projects. It's the whole thing like Fab. This is how I went into the projects to see Fab. I go to his projects, and then I sit down with his team. And I'm just talking to him about different things. And, we just started working together, and we were able to land like a huge multi-million-dollar deal.
Amazing.
And like, off to the races. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What bring that to an end, if you don't mind me asking? Was it more so parting ways?
Yeah, it'd be terms. It's like terms of contract. So like, yo, when you first enter into a deal, your contract is for so many terms and this amount of dollars. So for me, I got a certain amount of terms, which I think was let's say 2 years or 3 years, and a certain amount of money over that period. And then if you wanna move forward, it's either you take a cut or you keep going into where you want to go. So I didn't really want to take that deep cut because it's a deep cut. So it's like I take a nice sum of the money to where if you could lessen that percentage, this is the whole fucking quarter of your money.
Yeah,
I get it. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
He's like, hey, will you take half? And I know my worth, but it's still, the relationship is love.
Yeah.
So
clean-hearted.
Huh?
So you're still in a clean-hearted place with him now. Still good place, isn't it?
Yeah, beautiful place, man. It's always going to be a beautiful place for life, because it's a great kid, good heart. So,
what I want to ask you on this note, right, and we touched on it briefly, the cosign.
Yeah.
That might even be the title for the episode. How important is a cosign, in your opinion, as someone that's been an executive?
That shit is everything. Look, Drake a cosign, you could win fast. Definitely need a cosign. That's why like features are super dope. To get a dope feature, you could get in with that. The bigger the artist, the faster your song will probably just get picked up. So, is
a cosign a must?
Definitely not a must. You could trailblaze yourself.
Yeah. But
it's just faster. It's like cutting it's a shortcut.
Yeah.
It's a cheat code.
Cheat code. Because I was thinking today about that shit. I was thinking like, even if it's not per se a rapper that puts his arm around you and says, that's my boy, it might even just be, like you say, a super manager that knows everyone in the background, or, a PR company that's just got the best partnerships and shit.
Facts. That shit definitely helps.
You know what I'm trying to say?
But the rapper is different. Even have a super manager for sure, but like, let's say having like, look at Nas really kind of walked Dave East.
Yeah.
Like when he put their arm around you because they so big. Yeah, facts. With a manager, it's still a little different, because without a huge name attached to you.
Yeah.
So like, let's say I don't have A Boogie anymore, so it's like,
yeah.
It's a little different, you know what I'm saying? When you have a huge act or you don't. Cause like his family still, it's like it was a family business, and they kind of let me into the business.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be a little bit different.
100%, bro. It's like more of a business partnership.
It's like more of a business
rather
partnership.
than like, yo, like I'm gonna be with you for your whole career. We're doing this venture together.
Yeah, but shit, I love it. Let's go. It's like a collaboration.
Yeah.
So I love walking artists in, like, and that's why, again, like the label is everything to me now.
Yeah.
And really pushing the culture to the next
level of sophistication and intelligence and leadership, and like it's time to squeeze the best juices out of it. Like it's cool. Drill is drill. Cool. That's a section. Understood. Music is cool. Let's do a movie together. You know what I'm saying? Let's
broaden your horizons.
Come on. Let's go sit down with the mayor and figure out some concerts that we could do, and the profits will go to, you know, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, give back.
We have to sit down and have meetings. So, once a month, we gotta get on the phone, bro. If you're in the UK,
down, bro, fam, you know I'm down, bro. You know you're my boy, bro.
I know you.
I'm tied in. You get
on
me?
Deck.
Yeah,
you on
facts,
deck,
bro. I'm
so.
involved, man. You get me? And bro, like to wrap it up, I just feel like, yo, like I see where you're at. You know what I'm trying to say? And when it comes to community and the youth and stuff, I think it's important for people to like actually take time and care. And when the things that we've touched on is like time, right? So when time just goes so fast, no matter what you're doing, you're having fun, fucking mad bitches, traveling the world, making money, all of these things, like time, we only get so much time on earth, first off.
Exactly.
And then secondly, what a lot of people also forget is if you actually chop up the hours of like how many hours you spend sleeping.
Yeah, you gotta add that in.
You actually like end up, like I think you sleep for like 20 years or something of your life. Do you know how crazy that is, bro? It's, like, don't quote me on it, obviously. Like, it's out there, probably online. But
it's a lot of time that you're sleeping for sure.
So if you're lucky enough to live to 90 years old, you got to take 20 off that or so. And that's your lived time, like awake.
Got a lot to do, man.
Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I think guidance, man, like role models.
Exactly.
Because, you know, not to disrespect Farrakhan and all these people and whatnot, because they serve a purpose and they have like...
They serve a purpose.
And they're great role models for certain types of people.
Exactly.
But like there's a lot of pastors and things like that are saying the right things, but it's falling on deaf ears because they don't look like the guy that you want to hear it from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
They've, like you said, they spoke to people like me.
Yeah.
I speak to people like you, and you like it's you pass it down.
Yeah.
Certain people not gonna go. Farrakhan is a different generation.
Yeah.
He was with Malcolm X.
Yeah,
That's Malcolm X Jr. So it's different, bro. It's different. I was raised in the 80s. Like, I'm supposed to give back. I can't just sit back anymore and watch kids die, bro.
Yeah, I hate it,
like
bro.
I said, like I have a son that's in high school. He's in that world now. And it makes me like, you know what? Nah, I can't just be pushing the shit. I'm pushing music that, one, I wouldn't let my kid listen to.
Yeah.
Two, I'm praying, I'm making salat to the Most High. And I have to spread that word out faster to everybody that's within the range of my voice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I've done a lot of things that might have corrupted like pushing music out.
Yeah.
And you have to be mindful of
the
message. And even like if I was younger and, you know, shit, I might have helped artists get on or get a deal that somebody might have listened to and might have inspired them to
do something crazy.
Do something crazy. So now I'm at this age, I have to reverse that. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's true.
So that's all I want to do now.
Yeah. No, I get it. So I get it, bro.
Any conversation is always gonna be like trying to pull people closer into. It's only gonna make their careers easier. This being exists. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, there's a being out there. It's a supreme being that you need to get in contact with. You know, because if you don't, cool. Your life might be a little bit more difficult than it needs to be.
Yeah.
And
that's regardless of the title as well. Whatever the title is of the supreme being, the higher power.
Whatever the title is.
You know, everyone has a different name for this. Fine, that's fine. But
that's fine.
Just remember,
it starts with that.
The creator is the
Almighty, let's start
you know
with that. Let's start with that.
Yeah.
The youth, 12, 10, 18, 19. You know, once you start going up into your 20s, you start hardening like cement. 30s, 40s. All right, now you stuck. Now you stuck in your 40s. like I said, when I was listening to rap music in my teens, there was a lot of 5%ers.
Yeah,
so they was giving knowledge, KRS and shit like that. This nigga
Wu-Tang and
KRS
stuff,
was like damn near a teacher.
Yeah.
The kids don't have that shit now. KRS literally was a teacher. I really was learning, looking shit up from KRS. We didn't have no internet.
Yeah.
Did I sit here and talk?
It's what Nas was to me. He was like, in a way, KRS was that to you.
Yeah, but that's totally different, bro.
KRS was deep, innit?
Way deep. This nigga talking about Bible verses you could actually look up.
He was getting crazy.
He talking about Shem and like black Egyptians,
real shit.
Kemet and I bet you Nas will tell you that he probably listened to fucking KRS.
That's probably where he got most of his inspiration for that side of him.
KRS hands down probably was one of the smartest dudes in hip hop.
Yeah.
Word
definitely.
up.
I agree, bro. You can tell though.
Period. He still rap. Even everybody know that. Jay-Z, all these dudes know that KRS was breaking shit down.
Yeah. Well, he had the original blueprint.
He had the original blueprint.
That says it all.
But now, who's listening to KRS? Who's listening to even Jay-Z? Who are they listening to? I don't know. NBA Youngboy. They listening to. Cool. I love these dudes. But there have to be people. They still young. I'm not there. There has to be me to.
Yeah, like you can't learn. Like if you're 19 and you're learning off a 23-year-old who ain't really learning off no one of a certain substance already.
But check me out sometimes. So check me out sometimes, and I'm gonna give you some information that you probably could. It could balance you off, and then I'll let my artist come in here, and my artist could spit the craziest shit, and you know what I mean. Yo, I don't gotta feel away because I'm on the other end of things. They have the knowledge. It's like therapy.
Yeah, it really is.
It really is therapy. Like music is therapy to artists, to people that can't really get a therapist.
I agree.
I never had a therapist.
It's like venting. Yeah.
So, I wanna showcase some of the artists I got. You know what I mean, with the takeover.
Yeah.
And
that's it, man. Peace and love to the people, man, because direction. Even don't just listen to your artist and think that he's telling 100% truth, innit? Like you gotta keep it real out here. Like he might just be being mad creative in the booth, bro. So like if you go out and retaliate to someone and kill someone or whatever, make that decision because you think that the artist said you're pussy if you don't. Nah, bro. Can't just be listening to an artist and taking everything they say as like a gospel. You know what I'm trying to say? There's a lot of artists that are just rhyming words.
Yeah, you can't be a follower. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying?
You gotta set the trend yourself. Yeah. So
that's it, man. Do you know what I mean?
Cool.
It's been a pleasure.
Nah,
been an
for
honor,
sure,
bro.
man.
You know
I appreciate you, man. We gonna
real,
I'm gonna bring a couple of my artists in. I'm gonna let them perform. You know what I mean? These are a few of the artists that I'm gonna be entering into a distribution situation with. So
shout them out, man. Let the people in UK know who they got to check for, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. We got Saint C, we got Stevie Woods. You know what I'm saying? We got Billboard Baby. You know what I mean?
Dope.
That's what we got right now. A couple of my other artists, we gonna bring them down the next day. But yo, I appreciate you for pulling up, bro.
It's been a great conversation. I didn't even want it to be too like. You know what I mean? Like, structured where it gets a bit questiony. I wanted it to be a genuine convo. You know what I'm trying to say? I respect everything you